Hey there, my name's Chef Tim Schoonmaker. I am the Director of Nutrition here at Centra Health, and today we're going to cook 4 different recipes for the holidays using different ingredients that can be found at the market. And we're going to go through each one of them individually. Afterwards, we'll have the recipes available so that everybody can check them out. The first recipe we'll do is a jerk pork loin, a little bit different twist on the Thanksgiving turkey using a Caribbean-inspired dish. Then we're going to do a vegetable collard greens with tomatoes. Then we're going to do a butternut squash casserole. And lastly, we're going to do 2 versions of an apple crisp. One will be a crisp and one will be a bread. For our first dish, we're going to do the jerk pork tenderloin. The pork tenderloin we received from Restoration Acres Farms at the market. And again, this is a classic twist on the traditional Thanksgiving turkey using pork. And again, we're going to use some Caribbean and African influences here for this dish. Jerk can be done in many ways, but traditionally it is used as a sweet, savory, and spicy combination for any dish. And so our mise en place for this dish is fairly straightforward. It, of course, includes the pork. Then we have various seasonings and some wet ingredients. And basically we'll let this sit for anywhere from 3 hours up to 36 hours. The longer it sits, the more flavor it will get, of course. And then roasting time varies by the oven, but we'll get to that once we go through the recipe. So let's first get started with our marinade. So in a bowl, we're going to put olive oil, vinegar, and you can use any type. We're going to use apple cider vinegar here. Brown sugar. Onions, diced onions. Then we're going to use a little bit of minced garlic. Some red pepper flakes, and certainly you can use, if you wish, other kinds of red pepper. You can use habaneros, you can use jalapenos, pretty much whatever's going to give it the spice factor. We're also going to use a little bit of cayenne pepper. Not a lot, but a little bit. Then we're going to add some salt and pepper. Then we have a mix of oregano and thyme. Both are dried. Then we're going to add a little bit of allspice, a little bit of cinnamon, and then a little bit of chili powder, and that's just to kind of give it a little additional flavor. And once you have all those items together, you want to whisk it together in a bowl. So it'll come together, it'll look a little something like that. And then you want to go ahead and put it on your pork. So we're just going to dump the whole thing on there. And then we're going to let it sit. We're going to go put this in the refrigerator. We're going to leave it on the bottom shelf so it doesn't contaminate anything. And again, anywhere from 3 to 36 hours. And for the pork, we're going to put it in an oven. We want to sear it off first, so about 400 degrees, 425 degrees, depending on your oven. And we're going to cook it at that for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And then once you have cooked it at that temperature, you want to turn your oven down. The lower the better, so 325. Low and slow is the term we use. I know when we smoke we use a lot lower temperature, but let's use 300 degrees. And then you're going to cook it for another couple of hours. In general, it's usually 20 to 30 minutes a pound for tenderloin, give or take. And the sure way we know when it's cooked is you put your thermometer inside, and the thermometer should read 155 degrees. And once it's done cooking, you want to let it set for a good 10 to 15 minutes. Let those juices rest up before you go to carve it. And then we'll carve it up and plate it, or carve it at the table. All right, a little different of an angle here from what we were using before, but here is the roasted pork loin, the jerk pork loin. As you can see, it is very nice and caramelized. The internal temperature was 150 when I pulled it out of the oven. The important part with the pork loin is that you want it to roast before, you want it to set after it's done roasting. That way the juices don't come out. You can still see a little bit on the cutting board here where they're coming out. I'm gonna do my best here, being left-handed, trying to cut the piece that's closest to the camera. But again, you can carve this table side if you want, or you can certainly carve this ahead of time. As you can see, it is cooked perfectly. It has the excellent jerk crust on it, and the slices are absolutely amazing. Again, this is pork that we got from Restoration Acres Farms in the market. So again, the smell is amazing on this. Can't wait to taste it.